Howdy guys, lovely to see you all again. I was going through some old lessons and I found this little gem and I thought, that's terrible, Chris. That is god-awful. Redo that wonderful song with tabs and HD. So that's what we're doing today. We're going to re-look, or if you haven't already looked at, Nothing Else Matters by Metallica. Let's take a look. Alright guys, let's have a look at the first section. I'm going to start from 15 of the second string and 14 of the third, and I'm going to play them together, but I'm going to bend the 14th fret of the third string up a full tone. We're going to do that twice, but on the second bend I'm going to bend it up and back, and then jump to 12 of the third. So all together, at the end of that I work into this phrase. Let's slow that down. I'm going to play 14 of the third string, and then I play 12, and then I want to do a hammer on from 11 to 12, and then pull off back to 11, sort of go. Now if you want to, you can sort of slide into that 11. I think that sounds pretty cool. Or you can just go like that. So after that, I'm going to 14 of the fourth string, then I go back to 11 of the third, and then from that point, I'm going to hit 12 twice on the fourth string and slide that into 14 on the second hit. Let's have a look at what we've got thus far from the start. At the end of that, I'm going to play 12 of the third string by itself and then do a quick pull off from 14. And that goes back to the 12. You will notice that everything we've done so far has been around E minor and in that sort of position 1 of the pentatonic box. So we had that cheeky little pull off there. And I'm going to work into this little Chuck Berry lick. Nice and bluesy. I'm going to do a slight bend on 14 of the third string and then play 12 of the second into 12 of the first. I do have a flat pointer covering those first two strings. So that I do twice, and then I work into this phrase. Let's slow that down. Working down the pentatonic, obviously with that cheeky flat 5 there. I've got to pull off from 15 to 12 on the second string. Then I jump to 15 of the third and then back to 12 of the second string. At the end of that, I'm going to play 15, 14 on the third string. So let's go from that little pull off from the 12 and then the 14 back to the 12. At the end of that, what I've got here, I've got a hammer on into a pull off going 12, 14, 12 on the third string. Then I jump back to 14 of the fourth. And then I work through these cheeky little double stops. So what I've got here is a flat finger covering 14 of the second and the third string. I do that twice. There's a little bit of a break in between. There's a bit of an outside note action there happening on 13 of the second and the third string. And the last note is just 14 by itself on the 12 by itself on the third string with some cheeky vibrato. Keeping it nice and emotional. So that's pretty much all of the first section. We're going to do that once again a little bit slower, and then we'll do it again even slower with some tabs. One more time with some tabs. Okay, second section, I'm going to start off with an emotional slide into 15 of the first string. Then I want to go to 14 and then jump to 12 of the second. And I go back to that 15 again on the first string. Then I go. So I'm going to hit 14 twice on the first string here. The second time I hit 14, it's going to kind of grace note slide into 17. The best way to do that kind of thing is just to move it as soon as you hit it, and be looking where you're going to be. Let's have a look at what we've got thus far. Okay, after that it works into this phrase. So I'm going to have 15 of the first string, and then a cheeky little legato thing here. I'm going 14, 15, 14, 12, all in one pick. From that point, I roll to 12 of the second string. At the end of that, I'm going to kind of repeat those first three notes we had at the start of the section, which was 15, 14 on the first string, and 12 of the second. So let's have a look at what we've got thus far a little bit slower. Okay, then I work into this phrase. Let's slow that down. The start of that was 12, 14, 12 on the third string. And I've got this weird kind of double stoppy band thing like we had right at the start. I'm playing 15 of the second string and 14 of the third. When I bring that down, I'm just going to pull off to 12 on the third string as a single note. At the end of that, I'm going to play 14 of the fourth and 12 of the third. So let's have a look at what we've got thus far from the start of this section. Hopefully that's making sense. Then I work into sort of that similar bluesy Chuck Berry sort of sounding phrase. I'm doing the bend on 14 of the third string again. This time I'm going 12 of the second and the first, and then back to the second string again. At the end of that, I'm going to hit 15 twice, but the second time I hit 15 on the second string, I'm going to bend it up and back and then pull off to 12 of that string. At the end of that, bending that 15 up, then I bring it down, then I want to pull it off to 12 and do a hammer-on pull-off from 12 back to 15. So it goes. At the end of that, I'm going to slide to 7 and then slide to 5. And then as soon as I hit 5, I do a hammer-on pull-off, 5, 7, 5, and then hold that till the note decays. So we've got this all together from that last little chunk. And that's the whole second half of the solo. So let's try that again at a gentleman's pace, and then again even slower with some tabs. One more time with some tabs. And that was the solo to Nothing Else Matters by Metallica. I hope you guys have enjoyed that. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and please check the links in the description box to my Facebook group and my Patreon. I'll catch you guys all very soon.